early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month, I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
What's going on, everybody? You are back in the building with the all knowing, all loving, all feeling, all seeing, all powerful, all DEI, all woke, all lover of the LGBTQ plus community. Just damn all everything sexy as hell host. That's me. And we're just going to dive on into this. Folks, what a first 2 days in the week this has been. We just elected a clown into the White House. And when you elect a clown, you're going to get the whole damn circus. Well, that's what we just had at the White House with the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. And one thing I do not ever want to hear again from white people when it comes to Black Myrtle Beach versus their white beach, I don't ever want to hear again about how bad Black people behave at the damn beach. Because, ladies and gentlemen, have y'all seen the way them white folks left the White House? If you haven't, of course I got footage. Take a look at this.
All this fucking garbage, bro. Crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, white rednecks and racists are in no position to talk about any other minority group being dirty, leaving trash. When you leave the damn White House looking like this, look at this shit, man. Look like a swap meet gone bad. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? So not only does it look bad, but the words that was coming out of people's mouth was bad too. Now, remember, we took Josh Hockett up. We took him to task yesterday. And today, folks, we've got to take some other things to task. If this is your first time finding me, I am Lamont Tyson. Point of this channel is to debunk all the myths that Mighty Whitey has put in place to keep people at bay from taking the power of the government that we should have, but we don't, because they put these damn lies in place and use the Bible and other forms of religion to keep us all at bay. And I'm here to debunk it. So myth number one, we just debunked. When white people start talking about how bad Black Biker Week is and how those people don't know how to clean up behind themselves, show them this shit right here. Yeah, that's what y'all went there and did with the UFC. That's what you did. One thing we're going to cover today, ladies and gentlemen, J.D. Vance just took his ass to the View. And when I say face planted, folks, he face planted as if he was a pile driver. He went down. They took him to task. He sat up there and he lied through his teeth. He shouldn't even have no teeth because he lied so much. We got that. We've got a great value $1 million man posing as a political person in the state of North Carolina saying that Juneteenth is a lie. Racism is at a 10 right now, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Trump got these guys thinking they can say whatever the hell they want to say. And Democrats are going to have to get office and show that there's going to be punishment for this kind of behavior. We've also got my list today of some of the 6 really best progressive Black women to keep you guys not only entertained, informed, and they're all easy on the eyes. We've got that. And I don't know if you guys heard, but there was supposed to have been a deal with Iran. When I tell you that shit went left quick, folks, the deal is going to give Iran all kinds of money, not really and truly open up that Strait of Hormuz, and Trump just got more egg on his face at the expense of Obama. So let's dive into it first, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get down like this. We have an elected official in North Carolina. And all these elected officials right now feel so emboldened in places where they have gerrymandered the maps that they think they're going to keep winning. And when they feel that way, folks, they say what they really think. So we've got one right here talking about Juneteenth is a lie. And he's trying to back it up by saying his damn son went to some college and they didn't study it, as if his son is the only antidote to history. Folks, get your popcorn for this. I mean, really get your popcorn for this, because it's a mess. Here we go.
You've said enough, boy. I want to address this thing about Juneteenth. I don't support it because it is based on a lie. True history is important, not what an elitist point of view forces to be taught in schools and ignores the real truth of what happened.
Then do you admit this?
And my son, hey, it is not your turn, sir. My son graduated from Wingate University with a degree in history. And I've talked to him about some of these things, and from his studies, he confirms to me exactly what I've learned by going beyond textbooks and looking at other sources. A lot of these things I learned by doing that when I was a kid. And it makes me sick what passes for history that is falsehood. And I will not just sit by and take it. I guess I've said enough.
Yeah.
You've said enough, boy.
Boy. What do you mean, boy?
I mean, you act immature.
Commissioner
so.
Wortman.
Folks, this is what happened when you get actors and fake-ass reality TV folks to become politicians. Who invited great value $1 million man Ted DiBiase? That is exactly what happens when you let them get office. Number one, he disrespected that man twice by calling him boy. Number two, he just sat there with his emboldened ass and just lied through his goddamn teeth. Where are you going to get history from if you don't get it from a textbook? And his ass clearly is over 60. They ain't had an internet back in his day when he said he went back and was a little boy studying. What the fuck was you studying? Seriously, what was you studying? You own that D knowledge, right? You own that dumb knowledge. You want us to believe that you went and studied something outside of textbooks that gave you an enlightened sense of why we have Juneteenth. What did you go study? You must have studied Hitler's book. Is that what you studied? Maybe you studied the Bible, okay? Whatever the fuck you studied wrong, and you should not be in office long. Folks, let me give you the real history of this. Let me pull up a graphic for you. Here are the facts of Juneteenth. These are the facts. Juneteenth is celebrated on June 19th every year. It marks the day in 1865 when enslaved African Americans in Texas were finally told they were free, more than 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. You can read more if you want to, but do I need to say any more? Because what textbook did he read? You see, he was trying to make an argument against history, and he's not bright enough to do it. He's not as bright as some of the folks we have that are on mainstream TV lying through their teeth. He's not that eloquent. He's not that cogent. But you see this stupid shit all the time in the Christian nationalist MAGA sphere. They be trying to word salad subjects to make it sound official when you look like a damn ass to everybody who has an education. You wasted money on your son going to school if he really got a lesson in history, because this took me a quick 2 minutes to pull this up. And if the school he went to at Wingate didn't teach him this, they should be ashamed of their damn selves too, that they got you out here running your mouth talking about you proud of your son who went and got a history lesson on some shit that nobody else know about. Folks, this is what I have to deal with in North Carolina. Post your comments, let me know what y'all think about great value $1 million man. Calling somebody a boy, talking about his son graduated Wingate in history, and don't even know what the hell Juneteenth stand for, or if he does, he's misinformed and he doesn't want to be woke. Post your comments, let me know what you think about that. Whew, boy, I don't know how some of y'all do it every day. Next thing we're going to cover, folks, remember that mirror pool in front of Lincoln that we supposed to be getting fixed by Trump? Well, many of us tried to warn you. Trump is a horrible businessman. But in true form of America, where we do have some educational issues, but they're not for lack of trying to have the real history is for lack of not teaching it. It's for lack of not equipping people with critical thinking skills. Because we told y'all this man was a con guy. We told y'all he didn't pay his bills. We told y'all he stiffed contractors. Well, folks, it ain't take him long to burn through $16 million, messing up the Lincoln Monument and the water in front of it that didn't need to be fucking fixed. Take a look at this.
That's cat.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on there.
That's y'all's president. Something that did not need any money. Didn't need to fix it. You botched it. It's got algae in there. I've seen better pools at the place my daughter liked to get her goldfish from than that. What the hell are we doing, America? That $16 million could have been somehow, some way beneficiary to at least 1,000 families. But instead, you botched the job. Now you got to go back and spend more money to fix it. What happened to America First for all those America First patriots? What happened to those waste, abuse, and fraud people with Elon Musk? Because that's clearly a waste of money. Clearly, it's a waste of money. But I'll tell y'all what it really is. You want to know what it really is? Come closer. Get real close. It's a waste of money for his contractor buddies. That's what it is. All this trying to find waste, abuse, and fraud, that was to shut up the rich arm of the Republican Party. That's what that was for. And some of it was to shut up the racist part because they always think that that abuse and fraud happens among Black folks. But for whatever the reason, they never want to call out those same things when their leaders do it, when Trump does it, when Elon Musk does it. That is the biggest case of waste, abuse, and fraud by the government I've ever seen. So I'm waiting, racists and you rich country club Republicans, I'm waiting. Let me know what you think. You okay with blowing $16 million on something that did not need to be fixed right now? Post your comments. Let me know what you think. God, leave, boy, I tell you. It's only Tuesday, people. It's only Tuesday. We are supposed to have a deal with Iran. A deal that America is running from. That's what we're doing. We're running from it. Because this deal that Trump has done, folks, is worse than what Obama had in the first place. Why does this man love going behind Obama to try to fix something that's already working, and then he leaves the place stinking worse? You know what I mean? Like, why do we do this? The Obamas have so much reality in this man's head that he's willing to screw the country over to continue to try to clean up something that don't need to be fixed, that the Obamas have put in place that was actually working. I've got the scoop on this Iran deal. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to break it down and let you guys know what's really going on. Take a look at this.
The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition. We absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran, but only if Iran ends their nuclear program.
Yeah, so just so we're clear, we already had that deal. And then your dumb fuck president said, no, I don't want that deal because the black guy made that deal, so we're not doing that. And then once he realized, whoops, that was a big mistake, he said, I'm going to get a version of that deal back, but I'm going to spend $500 billion and going to war to do it. The $300 billion is not the full story. There's the $300 billion for reconstruction. There's the $20+ billion in unfrozen assets. There's the $60 billion it cost American consumers just paying more in gas. There's the $50 billion it already cost the military. And then whatever else comes from here on forward, we're closing in on $500 billion. So just to recap, we're $500 billion in the hole. Gas prices are going to be higher for God knows how long. And the whole world is looking at us going, What the fuck was that?
That's y'all's president. That's y'all's president. What is he? I mean, he's treating the White House like Oprah used to do on her talk show. You get a car. No, you get a car. No, you get a car. Oh, Israel, you want $1 billion? Here, fuck it, you get it. Iran, you want $300 billion? We get nothing in return. You take it. Putin, you want Ukraine? Oh, I give that to you too. I mean, come on, man. Come on. We are spending all this money on all these other governments for things we shouldn't be doing, but we can't bring that money home. What happened to all those ultra MAGA folks who used to always scream, America first? Put America first. This ain't putting America first. This is giving money away to our adversaries and then raising our prices because we went to a war that we shouldn't have because Trump wants to avoid the Epstein files. That's number one. Number two, he is for sure Netanyahu's little bitch because Netanyahu has gone to president after president to try to get them to back him to invade Iran because he wants to take over some of that land, and every president shot him down. Who was the dumb one to come and do it? Old President Redneck Trump did it. How are we going to check them, boo? What are we going to do to check them? Democrats, when you get power, nobody wants to hear none of this. Oh, we're just going to let bygones be bygones. No. A great talking point and a great thing that'll get people to turn out to vote for you is if you lay out not only how you are going to fix this economy, but how you're going to make sure people like Trump, J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and the list goes on and on, are going to be served swift, hard, and stiff justice for the way they have just blown this deficit. We're getting ready to basically spend $1 trillion when we didn't have to spend nothing. That $1 trillion could have been spent right here at home on mom and pop shops that need to expand, healthcare for people, early childcare education for people, business money so that folks can start a business. We could have done so much with that money. And now we're going to be beholden to these cream puffs. To give you an example of how bad this is, let me pull up the records for you. Because, that's what we do here. We bring up the records. Take a look at this. This is Obama's deal versus Trump's deal. And I'll read it for you. With Obama's deal, we lifted sanctions, slowed down the nuclear program, focused mainly on nuclear restrictions, gave Iran access to frozen money and international trade. And that was $1 billion. Trump's 2026 deal, you'll get economic benefits only if you completely stop pursuing nuclear weapons and meet the conditions. Includes discussions of a proposed $300 billion investment in reconstruction, folks. $300 billion in reconstruction. And the bottom line down there, you see Obama gave Iran $150 billion. Trump is about to give them $300 billion. Why do they need reconstruction money? The same reason we needed reconstruction money after the Civil War, because war has torn through the country. America first, people. Why are you not the first ones in line screaming? Why are we giving them $300 to rebuild something? For what? Why? I'll tell you why. Because this was a war we was never supposed to be in. And Trump has business dealings with his son, Jared Kushner, and Netanyahu in that area. So you can cool believe of that $300 billion, at least a third of it is going into the pockets of Kushner, Netanyahu, and Trump in some form of fashion. Some form of fashion, folks. Make no mistake. That's why we're doing all this. And we need a clean blue wave to at least get justice started. And I hear a lot of Democrats talking about we're going to get out here and vote in the midterms so that we can get investigations done. Man, fuck that. What are we investigating? We've got so many videos and social media posts and just hand over fist evidence of their corruption it shouldn't be we're going to be investigating. It should be we're locking their asses up immediately. Or these investigations need to be so fast they last a week and then folks is in jail, because this is highway robbery of the worst kind. Highway robbery to the American taxpayer. And it's never going to be about the American rich taxpayer, the people who are in the top 10%. It's always the rich people subsidizing the middle class and poor. And we've never seen this level of corruption from the White House, where you have a group of people who are drinking the Kool-Aid so bad that they're letting them get away with it. Well, Democrats, we don't want to see that happen. Post your comments. Let me know what you think. Y'all's vice president, he went to The View today. I mean, bruh, just put your face between some cement blocks. I don't even know why he went, because this was nothing but a glorified lying fest. Take a look at this.
He just said he loves the inflation.
What he said, Anna, what he said is that he loves the fact that the inflation is going to come down when this war is over. That's what he said.
That's not what he said. That wasn't a direct. Are you his interpreter or are you his vice president? Come on.
It's not funny, man. It's not funny. It's sad. I have to laugh to keep from cracking up, because the man likes inflation. His administration likes inflation because they get to take more advantage of middle class and poor folks. Period. And just come out and say that. Like, and don't try to make it seem like we didn't hear what we heard. We heard that. Admit to it. But you can't admit to it because you're probably scared Trump is going to do you the same way he did Mike Pence. Did y'all forget about January 6th, where Mike Pence was about to get hung and President Trump stood there, laughed and giggled like a schoolgirl? It's always funny to me how these American patriots love to forget recent history. That's happened this decade. That ain't something that happened 2 decades ago. That ain't something that happened in the 50s. That's just recently happened. And all of a sudden, they separated themselves from Mike Pence, who was horrible anyway. He was like your clean-cut con man, the kind that will walk into a church, give you that little stern-eyed look, do this type of shit politicians be doing, and really make you think twice about, is he telling the truth or can I believe him? He was that type of guy, the dangerous type, really. The kind that keep a straight face, but behind closed doors, they're in there having a gay freak off with Diddy. That was Mike Pence, and he tried to hang him. So, JD, Just Dance Vance, you better get a grip, bro, because I hear you want to run for office. And it's not going to happen until you separate yourself from Trump. And at the end of the day, Just Dance Vance, he's bought by the rich oligarchs of the tech companies, the Peter Thiels, the other guy that does Palantir, Elon Musk. He is their bitch. And whatever they say goes with him. And so, folks, that's not a much better choice. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not a much better choice. But post your comments. Let me know what you think. Here we go, folks. Now we get to some of the fun of this show, where we're going to talk about some of the best Black progressive women in all of social media. And it is a great list. And we'll kick this thing off with a sister who posted something that went viral. I will make sure I get her information so that you guys can, if you want to order this shirt that she's got, you can order it. But take a look at this sister. This is an honorable mention because she puts out good content too.
This lady was so mad at my t-shirt. What is you mad for? Like, why is this bothering you? Are you racist? This man must got a hood in your closet, because why you mad? Only a racist person would be mad.
She has a point. Why would you be mad at a shirt where someone who kills people is being hung? Oh, I know why. Because you're in the same camp that was okay with Mike Pence getting hung, and he was a white guy. So it offends you to see someone who's going to take out Black people, and you don't even realize you're telling on yourself. Because I get so many people that say there's no such thing as race. I'm race baiting. But when you hear white people stop this girl because she's wearing a shirt hanging the KKK, a killer, people that would go get in people's yard, burn stakes, pull folks out, beat them, shoot them in front of their family. You mad about that, sis? Yeah. I'm going to put her link in description, folks. Go support that sister if you like that shirt. First one that comes on my list, and I was trying to figure out how to do this list properly because I have some great household names of content creators and professionals, and I've also got some of they come up from not being journalists, content creators. And so I am going to start with an OG who is very young, that was a journalist and still is a journalist, that holds their feet to the fire. It's my homegirl with her thick tongue self, Tiffany Cross. This is her. Take a look at why you need to be watching and following Tiffany Cross.
I'm offended by your presence.
Recently, we talked about here on the podcast, Scott Jennings flipping out and cursing out Adam Mockler on Abby's show. When you saw that, one, your response to it in the moment about his behavior, and then two, what do you think about people like Scott being on those shows and those roles?
One, there's a lot of criticism about Abby's show, but I think some of it is unfair because Scott appears on every show across that network. So it's like, are you mad at Abby or are you mad at CNN? They put him everywhere. I could never get away with that behavior. I think we should criticize the network as a whole. I could go through the list of people who they pay 6 and 7 figures who sit on many sets and say deplorable things. And I've even read remarks about executives praising Scott and celebrating what they believe he contributes. They normalize white supremacy and treat it like it's okay. I think it is reflected in their ratings. People are increasingly tuning out. And when you have networks that used to be reliable, used to be a place where you can go to for news, and they turn into the Real Housewives of CNN, and they're like, we're going to put on somebody who is completely unintelligent and put them across from someone with an intellectual thought and present these things as though they are equal. I think we have enough intelligence where we're not going to watch that. So people might watch clips.
Facts. And Tiffany Cross has a rockin' social media. Now, the other day I had jokes on her because she was thirst trapping, y'all. You're going to have to go to her Instagram to see that. Tiffany was thirst trapping, okay? I mean, beautiful woman, fine. I love that thick accent she has. And she was thirst trapping. But at the end of the day, folks, she and all the other women on this list are why white men are so afraid. Because these women are resilient, they're fearless, they're beautiful, and white dudes don't know what to do with them other than try to disavow them. Post your comments about Tiffany Cross, the real Tiffany Cross, who should have never lost her job. Great follow, and we'll get on to the next one. Now, some of y'all might not know this sister who has a huge YouTube presence. She's bigger on YouTube than she is on Instagram and other places. But she puts out some pretty good show. And here is her blurb and what she does and why you guys should follow her. Sabby Sabs, you made the list.
Listen up. If you supported Thomas Massie and you're upset that he lost this election, the best thing that you can do right now is to change your voter registration to independent. Leave the Republican Party, change your voter registration to independent or no party affiliate, whichever applies in your state, and do it quickly. Because here's the thing. The Republican Party is the Epstein class party. I'm going to be very clear about this. If people voted against Thomas Massie, they basically voted for Jeffrey Epstein. Ed the Fed received donations from people who were in the Epstein files, from Epstein's friends. So that's who all those people supported. So you have to make a decision. Many of us went through this with Bernie 2016 and Bernie 2020, and we made a decision after the DNC cheated Bernie Sanders that we were going to leave the party and register as independents. So the easiest, most nonviolent thing that you can do right now is to do just that. You do not owe that party your vote. And I really believe after everything that I saw last night, I really believe something is going to change. People are already calling for Thomas Massie to run for president for 2028. All of you that supported Thomas Massie, if you are a registered Republican, you need to leave the party immediately.
They should have been left the party. anyone who triple Trump has a problem. They would rather see the country burn down than to see a few folks get a little help here at home when they be the main ones screaming America first. Sabby Sabs puts out great content, factual based. The place where me and her cross is I'm okay with Bernie, but there are some things I think Bernie has his blinders on. Like, I'm not big into saying liberal. I'm big into progressive. And pretty much every woman on this list is progressive. Sabby is progressive, but she does like Bernie. And I'm not saying I don't like Bernie. I'm just saying sometimes Bernie goes liberal Bernie and not progressive Bernie. But she is a wonderful follow. Teeth is so white, you can see your reflection on her teeth. So you're going to have a great smile and a gleaming time when you go check her out. Next sister that I'm going to bring to you guys does such great content on history in America. And the history of America is very political. And this sister does it with a smile. And I would love for y'all to go back and see her videos when she first started compared to now. It looked like she used to get her makeup from Kmart in the beginning. And now that the sister done blown up, boy, she's shopping at MAC. Okay, she getting that good Macy's makeup at this point. I love this young lady. Her name is Ashley. Take a look at what she does so that you can go follow her too.
ICE isn't just like the Gestapo. They're closer to slave catchers. And once that clicks, a lot of people get real uncomfortable real fast. Every time ICE comes up, someone reaches for that Gestapo comparison. And I get why they do it. Raids in the middle of the night, neighbors disappearing, families gone before breakfast. That's the kind of terror that people were taught to recognize, as long as it happened to people that looked like them. But that comparison is doing a whole lot of emotional work that it just doesn't deserve. Because structurally, historically, ICE does not move like the Gestapo. They move like slave patrols. And the reason nobody wants to say that out loud is because slave patrols aren't foreign. They're not exotic. They're not evil elsewhere. They're American, homegrown. Slave patrols were legal, state-funded, community-supported. Their job was simple. Stop people, demand proof, and decide on site who belonged and who didn't. No crime.
Fantastic follow, ladies and gentlemen. She's got a YouTube channel, Instagram, and she's on TikTok. Links will be in the description by tomorrow, but please go follow the homegirl, Ashley. I'm going to try to get some of these folks on the show so that we can have a roundtable debate, but she does great content, folks. Go get her. Next sister that we're going to discuss was on with Tiffany Cross. So y'all already know who this is, Angela Rough Rydom Rye, and she don't play. She's an OG in social justice, uplifting the community, going on CNN before we was having these debate platforms. And now she does a show with Bakari Sellers, Andrew Gillum, and it's a really, really good show called Native Land Pod. This is what you can look forward to by following Angela Rye. Take a look.
I mean,
well, look at what the hell that got us. We got goddamn Abigail voting exactly like she did in the House of Representatives. Now she's talking about maybe we shouldn't have did redistricting after Barack Obama and them got her all that goddamn money. I'm so sick of Abigail. So it's an Abigail I'm tired of, and it's a Bernie Sanders type
this ain't a
platinum.
new Abigail. That's all I'm saying.
It's not, and that's the whole. This is
but
my
this
whole
is what
point.
we all have to know is that they've shown us.
My point.
But they're all in our tent.
You guys, this is my point.
And the math matters.
We are told that we have to lay our interests aside, our demands aside, the things that we know we need to survive and thrive in this country. Black people got to move that aside to get the Democrat put in XYZ white person in office so that we can have a majority. For what? For what?
I think it's always a negotiation about
no,
what we
but
do.
We never get it to the negotiating table because they tell us to wait.
But I also think
if I'm going to get into a fight, I'll take her over any UFC guy. Do you hear me? Angela Rye can get down. And she can also show you her emotional side. Only thing I got to say to her is you do fantastic work. Shouts out to your daddy, who was a social justice warrior who helped teach you, love me some Seattle. But you know, Angela, you know, when you cut Jalen Rose loose, I mean, your boy was right here. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave it at that. Please go follow Angela Rye. She does great work. Next sister on this list, ladies and gentlemen, is someone that y'all are getting to know very well. She's a journalist as well. I affectionately call her my Lark Voorhees. It's Miss T. And her and Eric Stone, both are great follows. You should follow both of them. Put out some amazing content, and they do almost investigative journaling work on social media dumbasses and racists. Take a look at how she gets down. Miss T is something.
I do know what it's like to be pulled over being poor, having no license, can't afford insurance, have no insurance, and have warrants. I do know what it's like to be in prison, and I do know this. If you just cuff up when they tell you you're under arrest and go to jail, you're going to have your day in court and you're going to be alive.
I'm Therese Garnier, and I'm a journalist, and I base my videos on facts, not on racism.
Brooks got shot and killed in a Wendy's parking lot because he was drunk and fell asleep in the freaking drive-thru and resisted arrest, punched the cop, tased the shot. He got shot. What do you want to happen?
And that was Adam Calhoun, a rapper.
People feel the prison. Is it because they black or they make bad decisions?
That is very well known to the police.
Since the day I was legally able to go to jail, I was in and out of jail my whole teenage years and 20s and everything.
Shocker. You're still alive to tell the story.
If you want to hold court in the streets and fight the police and run away from the police and all that shit, you're playing with your life.
So here's a question. What were your thoughts when you resisted arrest?
About a fight breaking out. I'm in the middle of a fight. I felt this pain in my side. I'm like, I'm getting fucking stabbed again. My first reaction, I was like, boom. And it was a cop. He was tasing me. He hit the ground, and as I turned around and looked, there's like 5 more cops, and I'm like, okay.
So you admit to punching an officer, breaking into people's homes, starting fights.
They beat the dog shit out of me.
And yet, again, you live to tell the story. Why do you think that is? Could it be white privilege?
There's no such thing as white privilege. If you were born in the United States of America, you're already privileged.
But that's not what you said when you got out of jail.
We had never had any felonies on our records before. It was just, they dropped it down to an aggravated battery and great bodily harm, and we got probation. And people were pissed. Yeah. And it might have been because we're white.
Yeah, you think? According to ProPublica, young black males were 21 times more likely to be killed by police than young white males. Not to mention, black defendants receive sentences about 20 to 30% longer than white defendants who committed these same crimes.
Nobody's oppressed. You're just making that bullshit up.
What sacrifices have you made for this country?
This ain't the life we fought for.
Oh, really?
We've sacrificed too much for our freedom to let it slip away now.
I think you should stay away from being a commentator and do what you do best. Steal from black culture to enrich yourself. Because unlike you, I actually served and sacrificed for this country. I didn't play pretend.
Fire, ladies and gentlemen. Just fire. Talk about someone who probably really intimidates white dudes. It is definitely Miss T, my Lark Voorhees. You have got to follow her. She is an everyday watch if you can. And her man, Eric Brian Stone, is a great everyday watch too. They do great work. Links will be in the video description tomorrow. I don't have them today, but I'll get them in there tomorrow. Follow them. Last but definitely not least on my list is the OG, who's been doing this thing so long, got released for keeping it real on her news network, and is putting out great content on social media right now as we speak. It is the homegirl, Joy Reid. Please take a look at how she broke down this right here in only the way a highly intelligent black woman could do.
Let's just be clear. Clarence Thomas was born in Pinpoint, Georgia. He is of the Gullah extraction. Yep. He didn't even speak English until he was 7 years old. He spoke the Geechee tongue and was so afraid to speak in front of white people because he was always told, don't speak Geechee in front of white people because it would embarrass you, that he almost never spoke at all. Mm-hmm. There was a nun, a white nun, whose largesse helped get him through school and get him those good grades. He has been assisted by white patrons, really his whole life, even now by very rich ones, as they fly him around the country. And to your very point, he seems to deeply resent all of the assistance he got, and he wants to make sure that nobody like him ever gets that kind of help again, because it helps his self-image so that he can lie to himself and fool himself and maybe hate himself a little less for having gotten help all along his path to the Supreme Court. And let's be clear, the most important thing to know about his confirmation, other than the fact that he's accused credibly of sexual misconduct, is the polling that got him over the line. And it was the polling that I very much remember. I was one of the few black folk who was against him. It was the polling that showed that about 7 in 10 black people supported his ascension to the seat once held by the great Thurgood Marshall, and he is not his equal. It was black people's support that got wavering members of that Judiciary Committee and wavering senators.
They needed Democratic votes. It was a Democratic majority. That's why Joe Biden is in those hearings running. They needed the Democratic votes.
And it was only black people's support in those polls that got wavering Democrats to vote for him. And he has repaid black people with scorn ever since.
That was our bad, Joy. That was our fuck up. I don't know what you thought. Bush's daddy put him in there, but that was our fuck up. But having said that, Joy, that was immaculate reporting. And if you need the real deal facts, folks, you've got to go to these people who are not on mainstream TV anymore. I don't even watch mainstream TV. Honestly, I don't even have cable, because every station now is being taken over by the oligarchs, and they're pushing the Israel agenda. They're pushing lies. They're trying to make things equal weight, something that is a gaslight versus the truth. And it's, what are we doing here? And Joy Reid and everybody on this mixtape are great at cutting through the truth. So shout out to all those wonderful black female creators. You guys are doing great work. Let me know which ones are on your list. And don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe. I'll be back trading in the morning stock. So if you want to come check me out on my trading channel, I'm there at 9:30. Name of that channel is not that one. Win by losing in stocks. And this week I've been eating good off of SpaceX. I can't stop it. I might as well take advantage of it. And everything else in tech, the way I trade, has been kind of slow since SpaceX has blown up. But folks, make no mistake, don't think that this is going to be a good long-term hold. And if you want to know more about how I feel and how I invest, there is a link where you can click to become a member. I just dropped a video on what I think is going to happen over the next 2 years. Best places you should put your money. Check that out. And until that next sexy as hell video, I am
somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.